Wait a minute. In Surabaya, the Stuart was laying on its side.
Yeah,
dry dock. Yeah, because they had to abandon it, didn't they?
Well, they didn't have to. They had to after I don't know if it was sabotage or what, but they wound up laying on their side.
This is the Stuart, the USS Stuart.
Stuart, yeah.
Fort Piper.
Yeah, and she's laying on her side in this dry dock, so they abandoned ship. When we come in there, our TBS wasn't working just right, so they sent me and a first-class radio in a gig to go over there and see if we could find some spare parts for the TBS on the Stuart laying there. Mm-hmm. Well, if she's laying on her side, you're practically walking on a bulkhead. But then when I went to Radio Shack, there's an electric fan there, and our electric fan had quit, so all I did is I grabbed that electric fan off the wall, bulkhead, and we didn't find any parts. But then the bombs started falling, so we hauled ass out of there and went back and got on the whaleboat and went zigzagging out across the harbor there and went back to the Paul Jones, and the comm officer, Justman was the comm officer. Well, what'd you get? And I said, I got an electric fan. And you wonder why I got red hash marks.
This explains your good conduct medal is kind of you got the wrong
I left it in Surabaya. Oh, God.
Oh, you didn't make any points with that guy.
No, but him and I and his son and my wife, in the first time we came here, we were in that hotel downtown there, and which one was it? Was
the 1997?
97.
Yeah.
And we all the four of us sat at a table there together. That's when they got Ank and I up doing our little waltz up there with the hula dancers.
I was here for part of that. I saw the ceremony, and I saw a few. I interviewed a few of you guys in the hotel room.
Yeah, you didn't see the hula dance, huh?
No, I didn't miss that.
Oh, you missed a show. My wife about fell out of the chair taking pictures and laughing.
This is Gene Schindler at the Asiatic Fleet reunion in 2009 in Washington, D.C. And Gene Schindler is a veteran of one of those wars that there's a lot of movies about. What'd they call it?
World War II?
Oh, World War II.
Yeah.
And the U.S. Navy did a little bit of time chasing enemy ships out in the Pacific.
In the Indian Ocean.
And anywhere else you could find them.
Well, we went down when we got to Fremantle. We went back out in the Indian Ocean and brought the Queen Mary in a couple of times. She was bringing the troops from India. So the English had took all the Australian troops over there to fight in India. But when it looked like they were going to invade Australia, they were shipping them back to Australia. And they landed at Fremantle.
Did you have another sip of beer?
Yeah, I got the hiccups. But they landed in Fremantle and went out to try to keep the Japs. They thought they was going to lose the whole. It would have been what the northern part of
Australia.
Yeah. They practically gave it up. Darwin and everything. All of that part, they figured the Japs was going to take it. And they set up their line of defense, but the Asiatic fleet kept them out of there.
Yeah, which makes you pretty popular.
Days.
Makes you popular among the Australians.
Boy, I got engaged to a little blonde there, boy.
Mm.
And I wanted to stay there and go to a Radio Shack over there on the beach. The guy wanted to swap with me because we was going back to the States. I wanted to stay in Fremantle. The skipper said, no way. You can come back and marry her. Never got around to it. I bought her a 20-pound, 10-shilling engagement ring, though.
Whoa.
Yeah.
You did get serious, didn't you?
Oh, yeah. Hell, I was in love.
What was your rating then at that point?
Second class.
You were second class? Oh, you had some years in the Navy. What year did you join?
40.
So yeah, a couple years.
Yeah, I joined in 40 and went straight out of boot camp. I went to the Portland and they wanted volunteers for the Asiatic Fleet. And I said, I'm out of here. And I got on to Houston. I went out to Manila. They wanted volunteers for those tin cans, and I said, I'm off of this thing. So I went to the destroyers.
You didn't like that spit and polish, did you?
I don't like polish and bright work and holy stone. And the worst part's holy stone on the quarterdeck.
And that's enough of that.
That's all I wanted. I saw this the rustiest looking one of the bunch there was the old Paul Jones. I mean, the decks were all rusty. I no more got aboard there than the chief boatswain mate decided we was going to sandblast, scrape it all down and clean it up and paint it. So hell, it's been this way for years. I just come back in time to start cleaning another deck. And then they had a swimming team, and I got on the swimming team, and he wasn't going to let me go swimming. So they said, we'll go in. Two of the swimmers come out of the radio shack. They said, well, come be a radio striker. So that's how I got in the radio game. I swam my way in. I couldn't even type. I had to go ahead and teach myself to type when everybody was out at watching the movies at night. I had the radio shack had a little pamphlet there said how to touch type, For a guy that never even seen a typewriter before there in Arizona, I did all right. I got up where I could get about 25 words a minute anyway. And then we went on a Black Hawk, and that was squadron radio school. And you had to get up where you could copy at least over 10 words a minute with a stick, which is a pencil. And if you couldn't get over 10, they ship you back to your ship. If you get over 10 words a minute, then you got to go to Gaviti and go to fleet school. So in fleet school, I've been in there a while, and I got amoebic dysentery, and they sent me to Kanakaw Hospital. And when I come out of the hospital, this old chief said, you got the duty this weekend. And I said, baloney. So when my buddies all went ashore, I went with them. So Monday morning, this chief says, you went over, Schindler, he said, you went over the fence. Well, there's no damn fence. I walked out the gate, and I just flashed a piece of paper. Those Marines didn't care. And I went ashore. But then I was over there, and I got amoebic dysentery, and they picked me up bleeding at both ends. I went to Kanakaw Hospital for about 30 days. And when I come back, I weighed about 125 pounds. And then he kicked me out of the radio school to save my life. Because they captured all those guys 2 days later. And out of the ones that captured, only 7 of them lived through it. There was 58 of us in there. 3 of us got out before the war. And the ones that got captured, only 7 lived.